YouTube, it is I, Sakarma, here from Total Brohammer. A little 1v1 action, heading Averlorn and Alariel against Smallcat and Wurzag, who is by far the most competitive pick, I believe, on the Greenskins. And we'll talk about that in a Greenskin video. This is about the Elves, and what this is about, what I think we'll see will be a more prevalent build and in the Queen of the Crone, or following its release rather, which is the Elven box. Yes. So what do I mean by the Elven box? I mean, now that they have capable armor-piercing ranged, I think you're going to see this a lot, especially against Greenskins who don't really have a good answer other than artillery, which is you bring a couple of spearmen, you bring some white lions, you bring a couple of Swordmaster of Hoeth, and you just make a really tough front line. And then in that front line, you have the Sisters of Avalorn just shooting at anything they want to shoot at, whether it's Black Orcs or Broken Tusk Mob or giant, what are those guys called? Fucking Arachnarok spiders, anything. With this, and they have 180 range, remember. So they have a ton of range, they do a ton of damage, and it's going to be hard to break that box. Especially with the Fireborn running in support, who can pretty much wipe out half a Greenskin army on their own. And then I have a couple of Dryads here in the forest to do some funky flanking action in case they came up this way. I was hoping they would deploy over there and I could get into their back line, but it doesn't happen that way. Doesn't always work out, guys. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I brought. I went over my composition real quick there, and I wanted, where is Alariel? She should be here somewhere. Is she in the sky? No. Did I have her on a bird? No, I did have her on a bird. I put her over the, oh yeah, I put her over the water. It's cool. Because you actually can't walk over that, but you can fly over that, which I think is really funky. And yeah, so there's Alariel just looking radiant as ever. I'm going to get started because a little bit of posturing. So that's what I did. My opponent, meanwhile, actually, no, I will not. I know, I will. My opponent, meanwhile, has brought 3 Black Orcs. The Night Goblins, that's the 8-peak loonies, or I can't tell. We'll find out if they're unbreakable. They're unbreakable, so that's the 8-peak loonies. He's got Wurzag here, of course, best lord ever, with is that Foot of Gork? I think that's Foot of Gork. I know it's Foot of Gork. That's Foot of Gork, that's just a Gork, and that's Gaze of Mork. Oh boy. Rhyming scheme is on point with these guys when it comes to magic. He's got the Broken Tusk Mob, he's got the Rusty Arrows, a couple of nasty Skulkers, the Aura Boys, 2 of them, Orc Aura Boys, and he's got Goblins. I think he's only got the 1 nasty Skulker, actually. Yeah, and he's got a Savage Orc Biggin. Cool. So that's his army, so he's gone a little wide. And then a couple of skirmishers, the Death Creepers and the Morgrim's Major Marauders, and then of course Goblins. So over here, so yeah. Over here I've got Alariel coming up on the flank, and again I'm hoping to use these guys in a sort of flanking action, but it's not going to work out that way. But yeah, so this is the Elf box. So what do I mean by the Elf box is that you're just going to see a lot of, like I said, sturdy front line, and then have these guys just whittle down on these troops on their approach, and you can see just the devastation. I mean, that's 1 volley, and it's already done about, I don't know, 10% health? Maybe more like 12%? So if you do like 6, 7, 8 volleys, they're going to be dead before they even reach here. And they have 180 range, so they can just absolutely devastate them. You can just see we're just doing a ton of damage here as they charge up the hill. Over here I've discovered, I'm gonna get a nice little charge in on these goblins. Why not? Alariel can easily beat them, and she has healing, so you can be pretty adventurous with her. But you can see on this approach they're already at half down, they're already half dead. And then of course I have units that can deal with them, like the Swordmaster of Hoeth. So if I were to bring a front line of just Swordmaster of Hoeth and just these guys, that could be very difficult for Greenskins to beat. I think you're going to see a lot of boxes online now, especially as the high elves. But oh my god, that 1 volley was just devastating. These little glitter bombs, these firecrackers laced with glitter, are just devastating. Oh my god. So you can see we've able to, pretty much decimate. They couldn't even make it. So these guys are gone. These guys have had an easier time of it, but just due to the angle, and of course they've been able to force path with the Rusty Arrows, or whatever they're called. But yeah, they're doing alright. These White Lines of Thrace, the Pyramid Company, are doing okay against the Black Orcs, which is, you'd like to see them win considering they're more expensive, but what can you do? I get the Fireborn over here in a charge, and I just sort of forget them, and my opponent's going to make me pay with a giant Foot of Gork, a great Foot of Gork. Absolutely devastating. Great play on him. Then he pins them down. He pretty much wipes them off the map, so my opponent gets a huge win there. But he did have to sacrifice a lot of his Black Orcs for it. So it wasn't the greatest pickup, but I mean, probably was a worthy trade considering how much damage you can do with the Fireborn. Over here, I got a nice banishment, which pretty much wiped out the nasty Skulkers, wiped out some Air Boys, a couple units I got a lot of damage on. Meanwhile, I'm just flying her, distracting their shooting, because she can heal herself. I don't mind that. I am going to start, focusing down these Rusty Arrows. I am going to heal these Swordmaster of Hoeth as they fight the Black Orcs, and I'm going to put her in there too to, take advantage of that healing. I have brought in these Dryads to, get on the flank here, do some damage. And, again, just distract them. Because if I can win this front line, which it very much is going in my favor, then I can just shoot them down with impunity. All these, oh man, all these Fireborn, like literally to a man, they're dead. Yeah, my opponent was very, very good on that move. They just destroyed my Fireborn. That was poor play on my part. But I am getting some good damage on those Rusty Arrows, sort of whittling them down with my Firecrackers, my glitter Firecrackers. Although there are trees in the way, so that's not the best shot for them. But the Swordmaster of Hoth are in very, very good health, and we've cut through his Night Goblins. 2 units of Black Orcs are pretty much dealt with, and I think there's a third one over here, but it's it's in pretty bad health, and there's a decent Pure Main Company here. Alariel's going to come and help out. She's been good health. She's been healed. And then these arrows are going to come in, and they're going to start doing some damage, some good kills. Get some good kills. The Rusty Arrows are shooting at my Swordmaster of Hoth, but I will see that, and I will pull them out. I'm going to put my Spearmen here. I am going to try and push in with my Dryads, just get some damage on the Rusty Arrows, and just, muck up their back line while I deal with the front line. I don't know, what are these guys shooting at? Oh, there's like a couple of Dryads in the back. Oh, that's so lame. Oh, they're wasting so much ammo on like one Dryad. Oh, that sucks. Anyways, over here though, you can see we have pushed them back on the right flank. The left flank we've secured. Of course, we've taken heavy losses on a lot of our Spearmen, which is to be expected. But yeah, Swordmaster of Hoth are 72 models. They've lost 3 models. That's it. 3 models only, rather. And they're quite fresh. They're active, so they're ready to fight. And meanwhile, my opponent's infantry corps is pretty much dead. All he's got left is Cav and Skirmishers, and we're just going to whittle those guys down with our remaining fire. I mean, we don't have a lot of arrows left, but every glitter firecracker we do have is just going to, pew them out of existence. Just pew, pew! Glitter! Sparkly! Sparkle Doom! Sparkle Doom. That's what we promised the Sisters of Averlarn. Sparkle Doom. So yeah, we're sending them dead. We're, killing them dead. Putting them back in the ground. The Mushroom People. Everyone's favorite Mushroom People. He gets a nice pin on Alariel, the red effigy to get, and he's going to start firing on her. But good thing is she's right beside a tree. She's like in a tree, actually. Oh, cool! It's like an eagle in a tree. That's pretty funky. Anyways, very thematic, guys. Eagles love trees, even in the Warhammer universe. So they are going to do some good damage. There's the Gaze of Gork, or whatever it's called, Gaze of Mork. Try and do some good damage on her, but again, she's not even at her healing cap. She's just now at it. So all that damage can be rectified. So I'm going to pull her back. And over here, I'm just pathing these Dryads in here to try and get some kills on these skirmisher units. I have these Spearmen out warding off all these charges. All of my opponent is going to work our ways around. We have been able to kill these Broken Tusk Mob, and Alariel's back in the safety of her own lines. Meanwhile, these guys are going to start firing at the Swordmaster of Hoth. Again, I should have put them out of range, but that was poor play on my part. Look how much damage they've done. The Rusty Arrows are no joke. But yeah, they're dying. They're getting lasered out of existence. And I'm going to pull these guys back while I pull these guys forward. As I'm doing that, he's going to get on me with some Savage Orcs Biggins, who have pushed back my Pure Main. I think the Death Creepers will probably lose to Sisters of Avalorn. I would assume 39-59. Oh yeah, they almost certainly will. So I don't mind that fight, although they will take some damage. I have these Dryads coming in, and they're going to get on these Aura Boys. I think that's a win for the Dryads. 33, 24, 33. Oh yeah, for sure. And she's casting spells, doing what she needs to do. Arcane Conduit, trying to get that magic spooled up. These Broken Tusk Mob have been running around, just pretty much getting shot. That's all they've done this match. They just have not had an easy time of it. And then to make me look good, the Sister of Avalorn are coming through and just murdering these guys and proving that they don't have the speed and they don't have the strength, the armor or any. They don't have shields, do they? No, they do not. So they're very, very good targets for the Sister of Avalorn. But we're out of ammo on one unit, but this ammo has a lot of arrows left, and as you can see on my opponent's side, there's not a whole lot left. His front line's gone. I'm gonna chase off his archers with these Dryads. My units aren't exactly in good health either, but I have a very healthy unit. Well, not very healthy, considering the state of the game. The very healthy unit of I was going to call them Horror Masters, Swordmasters of Hoth. And then over here I've got Sisters of Avalorn, who again are no joke in melee. I've got Alariel, who's not a bad fighter either, and I've got some White Lines of Thrace, who are in good shape. All he's got really is just he's got what's his face. Whereas like I see this Foot of Gore coming down, so I'm gonna move them away. It does a little bit of damage to me. It does a lot of damage to him though, so I don't mind that. I mean, yeah, it was a good play, but it's not gonna change the state of the game. So a lot of this is just running around here. So we'll just speed it up because it's pretty much decided. There's not a whole lot they can do. He's really just has Warzag. He's got these guys coming back, but they'll lose to. They will lose to Alariel and the White Lions. Yeah, I get some heals off, and yeah, I mean there's not a whole lot here though to see. Yeah. Oh. But yeah, so let's talk about what we just saw. Oh, I like this. I love seeing like the different colors and like on the lines where they met. You can see all over the place where there were battles. That's where all the Fireborn died. Ah, oh, funky. Anyway, so this is the elf box. As I said, I think you're going to see it a lot, and I can just quit out. I know, but you won't be able to see the results of the battle. But anyways, yeah, so this is the elf box. I think this is going to be, again, very prevalent in the new meta. I think you're going to see a lot of people bring this online. I'm not saying it's the most competitive build, but I think it is a competitive build, and I think it's going to be tough to beat, especially against newer players. It's just like a click and forget kind of thing. So against newer players and for newer players, I think it's an easy way to play. People like boxes, people like geometry, yeah, people like shapes. So yeah, so Alaria got 147 kills. A lot of that's from the banishment. But anyways, yeah, so you can just bring, especially against Greenskins, just a heavier front line. Like, you didn't have to bring stupid Dryads, and I was trying to be funky. You could just bring like 2 or 3 Swordmaster of Hoeth, a couple of Sisters of Avalorn, the Fireborn, and then fill it out with spears, and just bring a cheap Lord. And that's going to be tough to break. There's not a whole lot the Greenskins can do to get behind that line. Rusty Arrows don't have enough range to outrange them. Spells like Foot of Gork are very expensive and are slow, so it can be dodged. Although they are, useful at breaking up the box, they're not, going to totally get rid of it. Because you're not going to go in a total box. You're going to go pretty staggered formation. Brain Buster can be good, stuff like that. But again, it's not going to be great. And yeah, I mean, Black Orcs. You're going to need Black Orcs to kill Swordmasters. But if the but if the Sister of Avalorn can shoot them down before they can even reach the Swordmasters, pardon me, Burphammer. There's nothing they can do. It's just going to be a slaughtering. But yeah, GG to Small Cat, by the way. The guy's very nice. I think he's a fan, so it was fun to play him. And he was a good player. A lot of nifty moves there in that game. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be a tough matchup for our Greenskins going forward. Especially considering that they can go even skirmishier. They don't have to go box. They can go skirmishy, or they can go cav heavy. A lot of options for the High Elves against Greenskins. Although Greenskins are a very good faction. Now, especially with the buff to Wa. And especially the buff to Wurzag, making him a pretty much, I would argue, the best, I would say it's almost definitive now that Wurzag is the best Lord on the Greenskins. He always kind of was, but now he definitely is. But yeah, there's just not a lot they can do against these units. A lot of kills on these guys, but, nothing special. I think they didn't perform that well. Pyramid Company, I want to test them against Black Orcs. You'd think they'd win, but I don't know. Yeah, other than that, yeah, he wiped out my Fireborn, and I was still able to win the battle. It just shows you how effective the box can be. And you don't have to bring the Fireborn. You can bring, just smaller skirmishers. I don't know, whatever you want, just to make a bigger box. Make it all infantry. I mean, that can work. But yeah, so yeah, GG to Small Cat. That's the High Elf box. I'll be releasing a video on how to beat the High Elf box as Greenskins in a few days. Or maybe even tomorrow, I don't know. So keep an eye out for that. So we'll see both sides of the battle. And yeah, High Elf box, I think it's going to be the terror of the meta in the future. And I'll see you guys around the bend.